Hello students, so we have talked about some biogeochemical cycles like water cycle, nitrogen cycle and carbon cycle in our previous lecture. But there is one more thing you have to learn about carbon, that is greenhouse effect. In previously on this chapter we have done an activity in which we have seen that if you cover a beaker from a glass, this is glass like kaach, so it will prevent the heat from escaping out. If a glass is put on this beaker, it will prevent the heat from escaping out. This was called as greenhouse. In some countries where during winter temperature is very low, which is not suitable for some of the plants to grow, this phenomenon is used there. They put plants in this big area which is covered by a glass or mirror, you can say a glass, which will prevent the heat from escaping out. This way the temperature under this greenhouse will remain much higher than the atmospheric temperature. This way you can grow the plants in very temperate regions where temperature is very low. But this effect here we are talking about is about our planet. Here we are talking about our whole atmosphere. In our atmosphere, gases like CO2, methane and much more, these gases when present in our atmosphere, they act as greenhouse gases. What they do? They prevent the heat during the daytime when sunlight is there. This whole our temperature or atmosphere gets heated up, and during night this heat gets escaped from our atmosphere, which makes the earth cooler. But due to presence of this carbon dioxide, methane and gases like this heat is prevented from escaping out our atmosphere. So this way what will happen? The heat will stay here only and heat will increase. And this increase in the heat or temperature of our climate or earth is heating faster up, or you can say that it remains constant throughout the year. So, and it is also applicable for whole of our globe. That's why it is called as global warming. Warming means it is also kind of high in temperature, heating up. The whole globe is heating up due to presence of the gases or due to presence of the high amount of these gases. CO2 was present when Earth was made also. But today, due to industrialization or due to industrial revolution, the amount of CO2 in our atmosphere became very high. This is the reason behind greenhouse effect, or you can say global warming, and ultimately into climate change. This 40 or 50 degrees Celsius during summer we observe, it is because of this greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, and due to it global warming and climate change is happening in our atmosphere. So this was the small or brief introduction about greenhouse effect given in your textbook. Now we will move on to our next cycle, which is oxygen cycle. we have studied nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle. Now we will study about oxygen cycle. So as we know that in our atmosphere 21% of oxygen is present, or you can say in our whole atmosphere 21% part of it is covered by oxygen, or 21% oxygen is present in our atmosphere as O2. This is its elemental structure in gaseous state which is present in our atmosphere, but it is also present in earth crust. The lithosphere in earth crust, it is also present, but it is combined with metals as oxide like silicon. It is present as oxide with attached with metals like silicon in our earth crust. But we are not talking about this elemental oxygen. We will talk about this O2 oxygen which is present in our atmosphere. So first of all, how or in which processes this oxygen is consumed from our atmosphere? So we all know that first of all, respiration. Every animal respires to gain energy from these carbohydrates or glucose molecule. For this breakdown of glucose molecule, every animal needs oxygen, and they take up this oxygen through the process of respiration. So atmospheric oxygen only consumed by animals for their respiration, and another process in which oxygen is consumed is combustion. But we are not talking about it here. Combustion, we know that carbon dioxide is released from combustion of any substance, and oxygen is consumed during combustion of any kind of substance. So let's talk about this only today. We respire oxygen and we expire CO2. That means from atmosphere, oxygen will be taken up by every animal, every living animal, and they will expire CO2, that is carbon dioxide. So here what will present? CO2, and some of our, we also take up oxygen, or you can say plants, to form water also, H2O, and this CO2 and H2O is consumed during the photosynthesis of plants. We know that plants doesn't take oxygen for their respiration or photosynthesis, they consume CO2. Why? Because they have to make carbs or C6H12O6, which is, you know that it is glucose. Every plant makes glucose from CO2 and water in presence of sunlight. We all know that very well from now on. So animals who absorb O2 and expire CO2 is absorbed by photosynthetic plants, and they make these carbs, which is also useful, or which is during respiration break down into energy and releases CO2. So this is the inner cycle, and this is the outer cycle of oxygen. This is the inner cycle of energy, you can say. And also oxygen is again released into atmosphere by only one single process, which is photosynthesis. That's why the elders says that to sleep beneath the tree is very healthy or very helpful for your body. Why? Because they expire oxygen or they release oxygen during photosynthesis. So every plant present on our earth, they releases oxygen during their photosynthesis. So that's why you can imagine that how plant is very important for us, because they give us pure oxygen and they absorb CO2. So this is the oxygen cycle. Oxygen gets through the atmosphere into animals and they expire CO2, which is again absorbed by photosynthetic plants and they releases oxygen in the atmosphere. So by this you have seen that oxygen is very important for every kind of living organism on this planet. Every living organism needs oxygen during their life cycle, but there are also some bacteria, or you can say, to be specific, nitrogen fixing bacteria. We have talked about it in nitrogen cycle that there are some of species of bacteria which fix atmospheric nitrogen into soil, which is then absorbed by the plants. So these nitrogen fixing bacteria, they can't work in the presence of oxygen. They couldn't work in the presence of oxygen. That's why they are present beneath the soil. Oxygen for them is poisonous. Oxygen, which is very important for every human being or every living organism on this planet, is poisonous for some of these nitrogen fixing bacteria. So this is all about oxygen and oxygen cycle. Now we have only one topic left, which is ozone layer. It is again about oxygen, as greenhouse effect was about carbon dioxide. Ozone layer is about oxygen. As we have studied that oxygen in our atmosphere is present as O2, in their elemental form present as O2 dioxide, but in the presence of UV rays, ultraviolet rays which are coming from sunlight, they convert this dioxide elemental oxygen into trioxide, or you can say O3. So this O3 is known as ozone layer, not ozone layer, but it is known as just ozone. This O3 is termed as ozone. So where it is present, this is our earth, and when the atmosphere ends, there is present this whole layer of O3 molecules. This is the whole layer of O3 molecules which we call ozone layer. So why it is present? O3 is actually poisonous for human. This O3 or ozone is actually poisonous for our human beings, but it is not present in our atmosphere. It is present beyond our atmosphere. It is present here, which is not harmful for us. But it protects us from these UV rays which is being bombarded on our earth by this sunlight. So what is the function of ozone O3? It is protecting us from these UV rays. Due to presence of this ozone, UV rays cannot enter our atmosphere. It will reflected back or will be absorbed by this O3. So this ozone is very important because it protects UV rays. So So what are the harmful effects of UV rays, or what will happen if we get UV rays directly on our skin? So it will create cancer, most probably skin cancer, and you can say mutation of genes which is a part of DNA. It will alter the structure of these genes. It will directly change the structure of your DNA. UV rays can change the structure of your DNA. So it is very harmful for us. That's why this ozone layer is present, is very important for us, or it is very protective for us. Understood? Now what is the problem nowadays? That we all use refrigerators, AC, air conditioner. These all tools, they releases a poisonous gas or harmful gas, which is chlorofluorocarbon. You can say it in short form as CFC. This chlorofluorocarbon, they act with this O3 molecule. CFC plus O3 will give O2 plus O. So it will destroy these all three molecules and convert it into normal oxygen dioxide molecule. UV rays, they convert O2 into O3, and CFC, they again convert O3 into O2. So CFC is harmful. Nowadays it is not being released by the refrigerator which you use, because after we know that it is harmful for our ozone, the most of the refrigerator and this whole system is now transferred or is changed, and this is not the problem anymore. But during this time of years when this CFC was released from our refrigerator, they had a very big hole of ozone. They destroyed this ozone layer from a area which is above Antarctica. Antarctica, we know that it is polar region of our earth where only snow is present. Glaciers of snow, very large glaciers are present. They destroyed this ozone from above the Antarctica. There is a figure given in your textbook which says that how was this hole in 1980, 1990 and 2000 maybe. They shown these figures of the ozone hole. So this is now called as ozone hole. So you can also consider ozone layer as our natural resource, because it is also very important for us, and we are now depleting this ozone layer with our industrial or many byproducts, or for our own personal use. We are destroying environment of our surrounding. So I hope you understood this whole lecture. Do read the whole lecture now. As you will study the whole lecture, you will get a very better idea if you study it now. Thank you, students.